Okay, here's the second video on this project of Receding Hills. Let's see, if you have been following along, if you saw the first one, you'll remember that there was a hair in the first one that sort of stuck there. They will, a couple things. If you can try to not worry about it until after it dries, that can be hard to do, I know, but it will usually be something that's not going to create. I'm going to come over this with some other color, so it's really not going to be an issue. You can tell there's imperfections sort of as it dried down here. I probably let a little bit too much water stick around and it started drying back up with the little sort of bloom. Try to be more okay with little inconsistencies. It's watercolor. It's supposed to be that way. But also this technique of layering things on it lends itself to solving a lot of those inconsistency issues, because as we keep layering things on, it will they'll just have a way of sort of losing their prominence and not being an issue. So let's see, I'm still using this number 12 round brush. I'm going to mix up a little bit more peacock blue. It's going to be a little bit less watery than that first big wash, but still pretty watery. Got a lot of layers to go here, so I'm trying to pace myself. Let's see, I think that's going to be enough, and because I wasn't that confident about whether that would be enough or not, I'm going to mix up even a little bit more. So that's a lot of mixed paint. It may be a challenge to try to mix that much up, but yes, that is very important. So try to do that. Okay, and now for the painting part. Let's see where my line is right. Sort of along there. One thing I demonstrated sort of when I am doing this technique is since I am making this shape pretty wet and keeping the whole shebang wet, it is okay if I come in and put some color in there first, like you probably saw me do, without doing the detail fine part, because the fine detail part will sort of slow you down quite a bit. So I don't know, sometimes it helps to just lay in some color kind of close to where the detail is, then come back and worry about that fine motor skill brush, and then continue on with the slathering on of watery color. I'm going to try to I can still sort of drop in paint up here because I'm keeping everything wet. I do need to make sure that if I'm going to drop in paint and make one area of this big overall shape wet, that I need to, if I want it to dry evenly, I need to do the whole thing. I was sort of playing with the idea of not so much keeping a straight line all the way across, but coming down this way, sort of cutting into that left side and then pulling across. As long as you're sort of, I mean, as long as you're overlapping things and making sure that one area isn't getting extremely dry while the rest of the area is getting a lot of wet color, you should be fine. I just try to keep overlapping. Right now the brush is somewhat thirsty. So let's see. I went outside the line right there. That's okay. Yeah. Let's let that one dry. Maybe a little bit dark. If so, I'll deal with that later. Okay.